Avataram akarot. Krishna appears in innumerable avatars. In the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it said that they're as numerous as the waves of the ocean. And among them, Ramadi, Lord Ram stands first, or yes, Ram and others. Ramadi means he appears as Lord Ram and other incarnations. Ramadi, of course, Ram can mean Lord Ramchandra. Lord Ram can also mean Balaram. And even Krishna is also called Ram because he's the reservoir of all pleasure. Oh, Ramadi, actually the first expansion from Krishna is Lord Balaram. Krishna expands as Balaram. Balaram expands as Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Niruddha. Finally, we come to the Purusha avatars, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu. And from the Garbhodakshay Vishnu, the various avatars in this universe appear. Avatar means who descends. Krishna is always in the spiritual world, but he descends to this material world in the form of various avatars. Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So, among these avatars who appear, Lord Ramchandra is very prominent. His pastimes are famous. He's glorified in Shastra, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Valmiki Ramayana. And there are so many temples of Lord Ramchandra, especially in South India, many, many temples of Sitaram. So Ramadi, he's very prominent. And there's no difference between Lord Ramchandra and Krishna. Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam. All of the forms of Krishna is absolute. And therefore, all of his forms are him. Of course, he has plenary expansions, the Vishnu avatars, Vishnu Murti. Then there are the Vimanamsha, living entities, who are also expansions of Krishna, but tiny. Mami Vangsa Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta. That's us. We're the tiny living entities, and because we're tiny, we can be overpowered by illusion, by the material energy. But in his Swamsa expansions, Swamsa means they're his own fully powerful expansions. In those expansions, there's no question of material influence. He's always transcendental. So those expansions are Advaitam. They're all one personality of Godhead. Eka Brahma Dvitiya Nasti. It's not that there are many different gods for different people. There's one God, Eka Brahma. Dvitiya Nasti, no second. But that one personality of Godhead appears in innumerable Vishnu forms. Departureva hi dashantaram abhyupetya dipayate virvitahetu samana dharma. Yas tadrageva hi Vishnu taya vibhati govindamadi purusham tamahang bhajami. The example given is that a lamp or candle lights, you use the candle to light another candle, another candle, another candle. then you look at all the candles and then you say, well, which candle is the original candle? And no one can tell, because this candle and that candle, they're all the same. No difference. Still, if one knows, he knows that this candle is the original, and from this so many others have been lit. But actually, they're of equal power. So the forms of the Lord, they're all the Lord. And therefore, they all have unlimited power. We calculate this one's more powerful. No, they're all unlimitedly powerful, because that's the nature of the Lord. But sometimes he shows more power, more opulence. Sometimes he shows partial opulence. But they're all Advaitam and infallible, Achyuta. Advaitam, Achyutam, Anadim, they have no material source. And Anantarupam, they're unlimited. There's no limit to the number of Vishnu forms, and each of those Vishnu forms is unlimited. If we try to find the limits of Lord Ramchandra, or we try to find the limits of Varahadev, or the limits of Nrsingadev, there's no limit. They're all unlimited, and there are unlimited such unlimited expansions. Who's giving punctuation here? All unlimited. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham. They're all the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Lord Ramchandra appears in the form of the perfect king. In the Bhagavad Gita, Naranam cha naradhipam. Among men, I'm the king. Because the king is responsible for the whole state. And therefore the king is the representative of the Lord. When Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, Imam Vivashvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Aviyam. He speaks to Vivashan because Vivashan is the king of the most powerful planet, the sun. So the king is, what is that? Yata Raja Yata Tata Praja. As the king, so the citizens. So the king is so important in human society. The king sets the standard by his ideal behavior. What is that? Yadyadatrati shreshtas tattadeve jana. If the king is a rogue, everybody else will say, oh, I'm no worse than the king. Now, what's wrong with this? The king does it. Whatever example the king sets, and the citizens feel, well, this is the standard. So the king has to set the standard of ideal behavior. The king, first of all, should be the most religious person. Religious doesn't mean that he's always in the temple doing puja. That's not actually religious. Religious means that he knows the laws of God, or the laws of proper conduct, proper duty. Dharma means duty. He knows what the duty of a human being is, or he knows the duties of different human beings. The Brahmin will have one duty, Kshatriya has another duty, Vaishya, Shudra. Everyone has some particular duty. The sannyasis have their duties, the grihastas and vanaprasthas and brahmacharis have their duties. So the king has to know what everyone's duty is, because his job is to see that everyone is properly performing prescribed duties. What is that? Janakariyaha? Someone remember? In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna mentions that even kings like Janak Maharaj performed their prescribed duties. Let's see if we find it. Someone know the verse? Astita, there it is. Karmanaiva hi sangsiddhim astita janakariyaha. Loka sangraham evapi sampashyam kartumarhasi. Kings like Janak Maharaj. Janak Maharaj is the father-in-law of Lord Ramchandra. Therefore, Sita Devi is also known as Janaki, the daughter of Janak. And Janak is one of the Mahajans also. What is that? Swayambhu Narada Sambhu Kumara Kopila Manu Pralada Janaka Bhishma Bali Vyasaki Vayam. So this Janak Maharaj, he also taught by his example how to perform prescribed duties. Because yad yad atriti shreshtas tat tadevetarojana. And even more powerfully than Janak Maharaj, Lord Ramchandra, Krishna himself comes and shows an extraordinary, ideal standard of behavior. There's no question of acting for his own self-interest. He acts as a matter of duty. He acts as a matter of duty. Therefore, he's sometimes called Marjada Purushottam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead who shows the standard of perfect, I don't know if etiquette's the word. Etiquette is, usually we think of etiquette as like table manners. But etiquette, what would be the right term? Marjana, moral behavior, dutiful behavior. Marjana means dutiful behavior, moral and dutiful behavior. Etiquette somehow is doesn't quite seem right. Moral and ethical, dutiful behavior. His father so reluctantly had to request him to go to the forest by the unfortunate request of Kaikeyi. So Lord Ramchandra didn't hire a lawyer. Yes. What is the difficulty? This is my duty to carry out your word. He did it. And when the citizens wanted to follow him, if you're going to the forest, we're also going to the forest. No, my duty is to go. And your duty is to stay here. Not that we can all get around the order somehow or other. No. Cheerfully accept it. So Krishna comes in different ages and different forms for different purposes. And in the Rama avatar, he sets the standard of perfect behavior. Perfect behavior. As and he shows the extraordinary activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are innumerable incarnations. Then someone else says, I'm also an incarnation. I'm also an incarnation. I'm also an incarnation. By my causeless mercy I've appeared. There's so many rascal incarnations. Prabhupada said that from India you get so many incarnations, like the way they produce bicycles, it's just... But then one should be prepared. All right, you're an incarnation, what have you done? What incarnation means? Extraordinary activities. What are your extraordinary activities? Krishna lifted the Govardhan Parvat by his little finger. Lord Ramchandra built a bridge to Lanka, making the stones thrown by the monkey army float in the water. Well, that's possible for the Supreme Personality of Godhead to float a few stones. People say it's mythology. Well, this couldn't have happened. What's the difficulty? If he can float all the planets, he can float a few boulders. This is not hard work. But the so-called incarnations, what can they do? They can manifest a little gold or a Rolex watch, some trickery. Someone was manifesting Rolex watches, and some very clever person, knower of the Rolex tattva, knew that each Rolex watch has a number on it by which you can trace its history. And he saw this watch had been sold to such and such local Rolex dealer, and now it's being produced as a divine artifact. So Lord Ramchandra didn't manifest tricky little sleights of hand to bewilder less intelligent people. He floated the stones to make a bridge to Lanka. Well, this is possible for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by his example he shows that if someone is going to be an avatar, then let him show that he's an avatar. Not that just by a cheap claim, and this person accepts me, that person accepts me, this government minister accepts me, this person accepts me, so I must be Bhagavan. We don't accept you. We think you're a rascal. Because where's the evidence? From Shastra. Lord Ramchandra, so much evidence is there. Lord Krishna, so much evidence is there. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, evidence is there. And you? Where are you? There's one time I was visiting South India, there's one Kalki avatar. Right? And no one told him he's 500,000 years too early. And people have little medallions showing the Kalki avatar and his wife. Lord Kalki comes, according to Shastra, comes on a big white horse with a sword. This Kalki avatar comes with his wife. And people are so foolish that they accept such a cheap incarnation in a society of cheaters and the cheated. Someone wants to be cheated, and material nature is very kind. She provides cheaters to satisfy their desire. But the intelligent person will not worship cheaters. He'll worship the authentic, even if you think that this is Kalki avatar, that avatar. But Ramchandra, there's no doubt, he's avatar. Your Kalki avatar is at best a doubtful proposition, and at worst a rogue. But Lord Ramchandra is accepted by everyone. No one will say, no, Lord Ramchandra is not Bhagavan. All the authorities accept. Similarly, Krishna. What is that? Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitra, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adi Deva Majam Vipum. You're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then someone says, yeah, you're Krishna's friend, so you're saying that. No. Ahus Tvam Rishiyas Sarve, Devarshir Naradastada. All the rishis confirm this. Narad Muni, Devarshi, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, and Krishna himself. Yes, I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Asamshaya. In Bhagavad Gita it said that one should know Krishna asamudho, asamshaya, without doubt, without question, without bewilderment. One should know firmly, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Similarly, Lord Ramchandra is that same Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's appearing simply in a different dress. Nata nata deo yata. Kunti Devi prays that Krishna appears like an actor on a stage. The actor on the stage, sometimes he's Hamlet, sometimes he's Othello, sometimes he's Julius Caesar, sometimes he appears in different roles. He remains the same person, but he performs takes different dramatic parts. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead performs pastimes in different avatars, different incarnations, just to attract the attention of the conditioned souls, just to set the example, just to protect the devotees and to smash the demons. He sets the example. If you want to be like Ravan, be like Ravan. Ravan means that you'll be smashed, you'll be killed. What was Ravan's fault? That he wanted to enjoy independently the energy of Lord Ramchandra. Sita Devi is the Shakti energy of Lord Ramchandra. And Ravan was attracted, let me enjoy. But for this I have to get Ram out of the picture. So Marichi was deputed. You take the form of a deer and attract Sita Devi so that she'll petition Ram to chase you and then I can steal her. So Prabhupada told the story that Marichi said that if I do this, then Lord Ramchandra will kill me. And Ravana replied that if you don't do this, then I'll kill you. On the spot. So then he replied, then I'll do it. Because better to be killed by Lord Ramchandra than a rascal like you. Vinashaya Chaduskritam. If we try to independently enjoy, of course we may not be so fortunate. Ravana was fortunate because he was personally killed by Lord Ramchandra. Anyone killed by the Lord is very fortunate. Otherwise, the ordinary thief, the ordinary living being who tries to exploit the material nature simply becomes frustrated by the influence of material nature herself. Moghasha moga karmano moga jnana vichetasa rakshasim asrim chaiva prakritim mohinim shritaha. They think that by manipulation of the material energy they can enjoy, but moghasha, all their hopes and dreams are smashed. Mogha karmano, all their meritorious enterprises are smashed. Mogha jnana, all of their knowledge and science and erudition is all frustrated. Vicetasa, because they turn away from the truth, from the personality of Godhead. And therefore, Rakshasim Asurim, they're called Rakshasas and Asuras. Ravana was the son of a Brahmin. He was very learned in Shastra, and you're calling him an Asura, a Rakshasa? Yes, because Vicetasa. He's turning against the personality of Godhead. So when we ignore the personality of Godhead or want to enjoy the resources of His energy without acknowledging Him, then this will be the position, frustration. And therefore the devotees, like Hanumanji, they want to see that the energy of the Lord is by the side of the Lord. Not for their enjoyment, for His enjoyment. This is the mood of the devotees. This is the service of the devotees, to reclaim the energy of the Lord for the service of the Lord. Hanumanji did that very gloriously. Even Jatayu was glorious because he attempted to do that. When Ravana abducted Sita and was flying off with her in his chariot, then Jatayu challenged him. Jatayu was a giant bird, so he could challenge Ravana in the air. But he was old, and Ravana was powerful. So Ravana slashed his wings, and Jatayu fell to the ground. And Ravana sped away to Lanka. Meanwhile, Lord Ramchandra and Lakshman were searching for Sita, and they came upon Jatayu. And Jatayu, he was dying, he could only say a little bit. But he said that Sita has been abducted by this Ravana, and he's taken her off to Lanka. And he died. So Lord Ramchandra took the role of son and performed the funeral ceremony for Jatayu. He didn't think that, what's the use of you? Old bird, you couldn't stop Ravana. You were too weak. You failed. No. On the spiritual platform, even failure is success. Because the attempt is made to satisfy the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is grateful. Lord Ramchandra showed this. He had all the ideal qualities of a perfect person, among which is gratitude. So Lord Ramchandra showed such gratitude. He was sorrowful, he said, not because Sita has been abducted, but because Jatayu has been killed. So there are many more things that can be said about Lord Ramchandra's glorious activities, and you'll have 13th for that, 14th for that. So I'll stop here and see what kind of questions or comments you might have. Hare Krishna. Activities about the latest activities, about the question about activities lately in South India.
No, it's basically about ill preaching about Sri Ram. They say that because of the politicians, they spread a word saying that Sri Ram is not there. It's all imagination, or it's an imagination of someone.
The politicians are saying that the activities of Ram are imaginations.
Right, and
this is their imagination. Go ahead.
Yeah, so and people also started believing it, and people in general, they're also believing the same words, and sometimes I encounter them, they come to me and say that there is no Ram. So how should we tell them, or how should we make them understand there was Ram?
All right, you tell me where everything comes from. All right, there's no Ram. Now you explain to me the source of the universe.
They'll go back to Big Bang theory. They'll go back to Big Bang theory. It all happened.
Big Bang, bang. All right, even accepting your Big Bang theory, what made it go bang? Okay. And where did the stuff come from to go bang? Accepting that there was a black hole, a singularity, or this or that. Where did that come from? You're against imagination, so I don't want to hear any imaginations. I want to hear the truth. Where does everything come from?
Right, Maharaj.
They're in ignorance. They don't know the source of everything. But they're arrogant. Dambho darpo bimanas chakro daparusham evacha agyanam cha bijatasya partha sampadam asurim. They don't know where everything comes from, but they're bluffing. Big Bang. Big Bang. But they don't know anything. They can't say where the Big Bang came from, why it happened, where the elements for the Big Bang proceeded from. And they don't want to accept Shastric knowledge or even common sense. And we have dynamite, it goes bang, but it doesn't go bang by itself. Someone has to be there to detonate the dynamite. Someone has to be there to put together the ingredients of the dynamite. And they have a theory that everything just came when things went bang. That's not even, it's not an explanation. It doesn't explain where the stuff came from. It doesn't explain why it happened this way or that way. It's just a convenient word. Big Bang, Big Bang. It's just words, like where did everything come from? Baba. What? Baba. Doesn't mean anything. It's described in Bhagavatam that their talking is like the babble of sea waves. Big Bang, Big Bang. So you can be a rascal and have your theory, but we follow in the footsteps of the great learned persons, Mahajana Yena Gata Sapanta. And you can follow in the footsteps of great demons.
Thank you, Maharaj.
This is not particularly South Indian, by the way. There's rascals everywhere. And your politicians, it's no great credit to this theory that politicians are rooting for it or espousing it. Politicians are not noted for being speakers of the truth. Yes?
Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming so much.
Thank you, Dan.
You mentioned that King Janak is one of the 12, I believe, Mahajanis. And I think, recalling my memory of the definition of a Mahajani, is it that next to Krishna himself, are they the 12 beings that are most in knowledge of Krishna? Or could you explain the term? Thank you.
Mahajan. Mahajan means a great person, actually. Jan means a person, and Maha means great. So what makes them great? They're exemplars of dharma. They're exemplars of devotional service. Especially the 9 items of devotional service are shown by these Mahajans, all of them. So Janak shows an ideal standard of a devotee. What is that? Swayambhu, Lord Brahma. He's the original deputed agent of Krishna. Lord Shiva is the greatest of the Vaishnavas. Swayambhu Narada Muni is broadcasting the glories of the Lord everywhere. Swayambhu Narada Shambhu, the Kumaras, again, great sages who glorify the Lord. Lord Kapil Dev, the speaker of Sankhya philosophy, Devahuti Putra Kapil Dev. Kapila Manu, the father of mankind. Prahlad Maharaj, the great devotee of Lord Nrsingadev. Then Janak Maharaj, Bhishma Dev, Bhishma Pitamaha. Then Bali Maharaj, who surrendered everything to the Lord. Vyasaki, Shukadev Goswami, who spoke to Parikshit Maharaj, the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Yamaraj, chief of police in the government of Krishna. They're all exemplary devotees. Therefore, they're called Mahajans. Mahajanayena Gatasa Panta. One should follow in the footsteps of such great devotees, and not in the footsteps of politicians.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Something else?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your holiness for a wonderful class. So my question is, now in India, like the national elections are in full swing, and the Ayodhya, the birthplace of Lord Ramachandra, has always been a controversial topic or the controversial subject that everybody takes up. So I would like to understand what is the ISKCON support or the ISKCON stand in building the temple or to the national government of India, that in what way are we supporting because I know besides ISKCON there are some institutions who are supporting or fighting at the national level, but I like to also understand what is the ISKCON stand on it.
As far as what's the ISKCON stand concerning the birthplace of Lord Ramchandra at Ayodhya? First of all, our stand is that the birthplace of Lord Ramchandra is Ayodhya. That's there. But as far as this Ram Janmabhoomi temple controversy, this is not our business. Mostly such things are, well, first of all, let me say, ISKCON has no stand. I don't know that any official organ of ISKCON has said, here's our official stand, this is the official ISKCON position about the Ram Janmabhoomi controversy. That means every member of ISKCON can think what he likes and vote for, if you're an Indian citizen, you can vote for whichever party you prefer, or none of the above. It's entirely up to you. ISKCON doesn't have a position on the matter. That's the direct answer to your question. There is no official ISKCON. Our official ISKCON position is that our business is to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead and go back home, back to Godhead. My personal position, as a foreigner, I'm not an Indian citizen, but as an observer, is that there's always an interest among politicians in exploiting people's sentiments, whether they be religious sentiments or any other sentiment that we can leverage to get political support, we'll do it. At whatever expense to the public welfare, to peace, to communal harmony, or to anything else, we'll do it. That's not to accuse any particular party or any particular politician. It's just an observation. And it goes both ways, that there's also provocation from the opposite party. That's politics. Politics means I try to bluff this way and you try to bluff that way. We try to cheat people this way and you try to cheat people that way. Politics is not the cleanest game in town. Yes.
You briefly talked about the Jatayu incident. In general, we say that only the human form of life is in general, we say the human form of life is the only species that is capable of doing spiritual inquiry and finally attain moksha. But in Ramayana, we find pastimes where Jatayu attains moksha, being a bird.
And in Chaitanya, that we say that the human life is the life for spiritual realization and attainment of consciousness. But then you find Jatayu, you find monkeys, you find so many. And in Chaitanya Lila also, we find that the deer were dancing when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Charikanda. Then the deer were dancing, the lions were dancing. So that's extraordinary. By the influence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the monkeys, the deer, the birds, all living entities can become Krishna conscious. There's no restriction. The Lord can do as He likes and give the opportunity to everyone. But generally speaking, we don't find the pigeons in Plainfield are chanting Hare Krishna, or that the monkeys in, here and there and everywhere are doing devotional service. But in the human form of life, this is the opportunity. Therefore, tato brahma jigyasa. In the human life, one should take these things seriously. Should we stop here? We've reached our time, I think. We're done. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande.
Vanity Karma book.
Oh, okay.
Oh, books, yeah.
All right. They're giving me... Hare Krishna. They're giving me a hint that I should promote my book, Vanity Karma. This is the first commentary from the Vedic point of view on any book of the Bible. It's called Vanity Karma, but really, I think perhaps if we do another printing, I give it a different title, How is Living Even Worth It? Because that's the subject matter of the book. It's actually the subject matter of the biblical book. It's a very odd book to be in the Bible. It asks that question, what is the point of life? How is life even worth it? What should we do? And so I've commented on the entire text of the book in this book, which gives, so by reading this book you get two books in one. You get that biblical book, which is a classic work of literature, and you get the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. I've written it especially for outsiders, not for our inside crowd, because if you write just for the inside crowd, that's the only people you'll get. But if you write for the outsiders, then you may actually reach them. And the insiders will naturally be interested also because they'll say, well, what did you say to them? So it's a valuable book, I think. Well, I'm confident it's a valuable book because it's giving Srila Prabhupada's instructions. And it's written in non-technical language that a high school student could easily understand. And so it's a good book for you to take for your friends, for your outside associates, for people who are not in our Bharatiya Samaj, to introduce them through a book of their own, actually, to the teachings of Krishna. So everyone take a box with you, or at least take a copy. Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
So the book is at a discounted price of $15, and Maharaj can personally also sign today. So if anybody would be interested, please come forward.
What is the price?
$15. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anybody has any other questions for Maharaj? They can contact. There's no birthday, right? There's no birthday.
But they have to give me a book, otherwise I can't give you one.